Hello, this is Nemesis with another review. This is Transformers Titans Return Voyager class Broadside with his Titan Master Blunderbuss. And, well, yeah, he's an aircraft carrier, as you can clearly see. And of course, he has a couple other modes, but he also comes with his instructions, which, yeah, they're the instructions, and his little trading card, which has all his tech specs and whatnot. So, yes, it's Broadside, the crazy guy who kind of messes with everyone's ideas about what Transformers is capable of because of what he can turn into. So, yeah, this is an aircraft carrier. And, yeah, it looks like an aircraft carrier and whatnot. I do like aircraft carriers a lot just because my dad was stationed on one for a long time. So, I got to be on one. So, this is kind of a big deal for me in a sense. I do like how he does have the stand so you can actually stand there. This one, although on mine, this one's kind of loose, so it has a tendency to just kind of collapse on itself if you move it wrong. So it looks mostly nice. My thing is, you can probably see the glare a little bit, but this runway is a sticker, or several stickers. It's a metallic sticker, and it's also not very well applied, because you can see those ridges. Those are molded ridges, but the thing is, because how the sticker was applied, they kind of raise the whole sticker up like that. It's unfortunate. My opinion is if they're going to use stickers, they really need to get their crap together, because these aren't very well applied. You can see kind of right there, it's kind of lifting up, and this one kind of has a weird wrinkles and stuff. I also do not like the fact to just have the metallic sheen. I think if they went with matte finish stickers, this would have looked a lot better. But as it stands, it doesn't look very good. And also, my Autobot sticker is kind of wearing a little bit of the metallic stuff. It's kind of worn off a little bit, which is kind of unfortunate. But that's the thing. It's just the stickers kind of bring down the figure overall. And this one's also kind of peeling a little. But, yeah, that's the problem. It's just the stickers aren't the greatest. And it kind of ruins it in a sense. Well, not ruins it, but does detract from it. From what is otherwise actually a pretty cool alt mode. But of course he does come with, like I said, blunderbuss. Little old blunderbuss. Again, no real paint, just red and gray plastic with some detailing, which you can see. It's kind of nice. And of course he turns into head, which you got a little bit of paint red, red he picked out here for the eye and whatnot. And I think that's some silver paint. I'm not sure if it's silver painted plastic. He looks nice. Of course, when it comes to the actual robot here, he can interact with it. There's a bunch of little Titan Master pegs he can peg onto any one of them, just like any other Titan Master, no big deal. You could also, the bridge here, you can open it up. You have to fold down the antenna and whatnot. You can open this up and he can stand in it or sit in it, whatever you want. Slots right in. I think there's no pegs or anything, but he kind of slots in. No problems there. You can make him sit down if you want. There's that. It looks a little silly, but what are you going to do? Except just not use it. The other cool thing is, this guy comes with, and these might be a little difficult to film, but he comes with these little tiny jets. Little tiny jets. They're based on the aerial bots from Combiner Wars, except for whatever reason, they're painted white, and they're the transparent blue that you see right there. Yeah, the transparent blue right there on the side of the aircraft carrier and whatnot, but they're painted white for whatever reason. They come on a sprue, and they have little holes on the bottom, so you can actually use the Titan Master pegs and kind of peg them on, like that. It's actually pretty neat. So you can use those pegs, and there's 5 of them. No, I guess no Alpha Bravo though, so no helicopter. But they can all peg on like that. They're also easy to lose if you're not careful. He also comes with this gun. Yeah. It's a transparent blue plastic. Again, I guess it's supposed to look like water or something. I'm not sure. But, of course, Tight master can go inside it. You can peg in right here on the top. This hole doesn't work for that. You can also peg into the side, although this is kind of loose, I've noticed. So there's that. But anyway, he of course has another mode. It's the jet mode. So to get to there, it's actually pretty simple. Got to fold that down and fold the bridge under. And you've got to... Oh, before I actually fully go, these panels, these are a lot of panels as I'm moving it, transforming it. These panels are have a very snug fit. It can take a bit of massaging to get them all the way down and pegged in nicely so that they're nice and flat and even with each other. So just be aware of that. But anyway, you want to take these panels and unsplit them and spread them out like that. Take these panels, fold them down and tab them in. Split the legs a bit, and fold this back part down. I'm also going to raise the camera a little bit just to make this a little easier on myself. You fold that back part down. You flip the whole thing over. Ah, there's the jet. Oh yeah, you want to fold all this landing gears, or yes, gears down. Fold that down. You take the legs back here and you rotate them like so. Take these fins and move them outwards. And take the center gray fins and move them up like that. And you also want to take these parts and fold them under. They will tab. There's a little tab right here that will tab in. Do that on both sides. And you take the legs and angle them up. There's a little slot. That slot right here. Slot right there will go in. That tab will go into it. So the legs are at an angle. Then you take these parts and just kind of straighten them out with the rest of the jet, like so. And you take the arms and they're on a hinge. You pull them out and move them backwards without making it all fall apart. They don't tab into anywhere, but there's the. Actually, I think you did that too. I think you rotate these. Yeah, pretty sure you rotate those. Anyway, it fits together better when you rotate those. But anyway, that's the jet mode. And I think in many ways I am being very, very liberal with that definition of jet. More metallic stickers, though, which again aren't super well applied, unfortunately. But I kind of mocked the Optimus Prime jet mode, and wow, yeah, this guy's is pretty bad. It doesn't look great. I know there's a fan mode out there where you swap the fins, you turn them around, you straighten the legs out and do a couple other things, but wow, this is I mean, the front, it's fine. It's like you start at the front, it's fine. Oh gosh, what just happened? Like the wings are fine, the front ends is fine. It's just once you get to the legs and stuff, it just completely falls apart on itself, and that's unfortunate. I mean, it does have the opening cockpit, so you can just put the Titan Master inside there. No big deal there. And that's the other thing, is these do not really tab in anywhere, at least I can tell. So they're just kind of loose. And the gun can also tab in right here, or peg in right there, so you have the gun, which does help a little bit, but not a whole lot, to be brutally honest. So that's jet mode, which isn't great, to be honest. It's kind of worse than Laser Primes or Optimus Primes or whatever, but that's what we got. So anyway, we're going to move on from this to robot mode, and that's pretty simple. You just got to kind of turn around like this, take the legs, untab them, move them down, take the arms and move them back up on the arms and the little armatures. The wings, you can just kind of move them back a little bit behind, I guess as a pseudo cape. These fins, you actually just kind of fold them together. There's a little notch or a little thing right here, and there's two notches here, and they kind of sort of tab together. It's not a great connection, but they kind of hold. So you have that. They're like, I guess, little shin things, and then you take the feet and move them out from the back and just move them forward however you want, really. Depends on what you need for stability. Take these shoulder things and move them back like that. And then you take the jet, you fold it all down, because this panel, it all comes down, it folds down like that. that will spring up probably. You take the hands, like so. And of course, you take the Titan Master, and you just plug it in. And there is Broadside in his robot mode. And yes, it's actually a pretty nice robot mode, all things considered. He looks pretty great all over. He's like nice and bulky, as like he should be. He's Broadside. He turns into an aircraft carrier. He should be bulky. And of course, you take his gun, you can put it in either hand, whatever, so he's holding it. So, yeah, here's the thing about mine, just to illustrate this. These are the things that they put on Voyagers to make them the heads look bigger. Here's the thing on mine. Actually, you know what? Rather than do it that way, let's do it that way. Right, so here's the thing on mine. These don't like to stay down. There is something wrong with the mechanism. Everything in there is very loose. This button doesn't seem to work. I mean, if they're up like this, I can kind of get the button wedged in, and now you got a wedged in button, and it doesn't really do anything, except now sometimes, now kind of latch in, but it's such a hair trigger, and then now it won't work again. It's really frustrating, to be honest. I mean, it's not a huge deal, because when you're going into either one of the alt modes, this folds over and will collapse them down anyway, so it's not not a deal breaker, but it is really annoying that this mechanism simply doesn't work very well on mine, or it barely works, and I have to like open this guy up to fix it. So if I cannot display them except without these, really, except it's just easier to display them with these things up. So the nice thing is at least they're like little they look good on him, so it's not too much of a big deal. I've heard this is a common problem. It's something he shares in common with Alpha Trion, who shares a lot of his engineering. It's unfortunate. They both have this weird, weak, very, very, very weak latch system here, so it's unfortunate. But other than that, he actually looks good. The color scheme, you got the reds and grays and stuff, and the dark grays and light grays all mixing together, and you got the bits of yellow paint on the shoulders, and the blue translucent plastic. It's very nice. The only other thing is on mine, the Autobot sticker is slightly off center, which is unfortunate too. But he has a very nice color scheme, so it looks pretty good. Just got a little weird QC problems, which is kind of weird thing. But to get into posability, his head can look left and right. It's got the little platform there, so it's kind of limited. Mine's also really loose, but it doesn't flop around or anything, so there's that. Shoulders move forward and back, although these wings can get caught on the backpack, so if you want to really get full range, you gotta move the wing out a little bit, which isn't a huge deal. It's just a kind of aesthetic thing. You can give them little arm wings if you want, or just fold them back like a cape or whatever you want to do. I like to kind of keep them folded back. His arm can also go outward though, separate hinge. He's got a bicep sole and elbows, which can curl about 90 degrees. Actually, can go back a little bit further than straight out. But yeah, it can curl about 90 degrees. No wrist swivels, but they can go inward and outward if you want. So just in and out, no big deal. No waist joint, unfortunately. And I see zero reason to not have a waist joint, to be honest. I think it's just left over from Alpha Trion's engineering, just the way he was engineering this separated and stuff. And I think because of that, they just doesn't have the waist joint, which he totally has room for. Except just maybe because of the mechanism for these things. But honestly, I'd rather sacrifice that mechanism if I meant getting a waist joint. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Hips, though, mine are a little loose, but not horrendously loose. They mean the hold, but if you start shaking it, it holds, but then you shake it, it'll fall back. But yeah, forward and back, lots of range there. Kind of can get caught on the tab, so just gotta maneuver around that. Outward goes about far, pretty much a full split, which is nice. Knees, full 90, although there's a bit of a soft, oh yeah, I see why, because the molding on here, on the thigh, there's molding right here on the thigh, which can kind of rubs up against this right here on the leg, so it can kind of right there at the very end kind of, but it'll get past each other, it's fine. And then Feet, no side to side, but it does have forward and back, and you can adjust where the foot is positioned. So you got a lot of play there, I guess, if you need it. Yeah, the thing is, because of his kind of bulk, he kind of has a tendency to not stand super well, but you can get into some decentish poses, maybe. Yeah, you can get him into some nice poses. So there's that. But yeah, it's Broadside. He's got the problems of the stickers are bad. Mine has the problem with the latch system is just simply doesn't work most of the time. A couple loose bits, but he looks good. So it's kind of that weird thing that's like, there's a lot. Most of the problems are just QC issues and the stickers. That's the big thing. He looks great. And the alt mode is also pretty, or the jet mode is pretty bad. The aircraft carrier mode is great. It's phenomenal. The robot mode looks phenomenal. It's just the weird QC problems and whatnot. And so it's kind of a weird thing. I can't totally recommend it, but unless you really, really like how he looks. So or you're a completionist, I guess, and you're just collecting the whole line. But otherwise, it's just, if you're just looking at it and you find him in the store, you're kind of like, I don't know. You might consider skipping it. You can't really know for sure. The problem is you can't look at it and tell from the get-go because the QC problems won't crop up until you open and start playing with him. And most of the stickers are pretty well hidden in robot mode for the most part. So that's kind of the general problem. So I guess just buyer beware on this one. Just be prepared to possibly have to fix some issues or possibly get some repro labels if they ever make them. They'll probably make them to cover up the or replace the current stickers. So that's that, I guess. So this was Titan's Return Broadside, and I'll see you next time.